Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video, and of course, continuing on reviewing Halloweenish films, and that's right, another film celebrating its anniversary, and actually, um, this happened to come out the same month, and I'd say, yeah, a week after the last film I reviewed, Poltergeist, that being, of course, John Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah, so John Carpenter's The Thing. What an interesting film, like, very creepy and scary, and on what goes on in the film. And actually, because this is a readaptation of the 1951 film with the same name, but it has a full title, The Thing from Another World. But with this, it's just called The Thing. So, and of course, John Carpenter, hey, best known for Halloween, of course, and Escape from New York films, like Escape from New York and Escape from Los Angeles. So, anyways, and he also directed the Elvis, for one of the early Elvis biopic films with Kurt Russell as Elvis, which actually came out a year before Halloween. So, all right, but the story of The Thing: a research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. Yeah, so especially the opening to it, we see this helicopter out in the Antarctica, and basically is shooting a dog, which is a husky, and it's like, what the heck, for sport, or what is going on? But as the film proceeds, the dog still hangs around, and you question and wonder about the dog. And, well, not to mention, at the beginning of the film, we see a spaceship crashing to Earth. So, yeah, makes sense. Whoa, sorry, this almost dropped. Eventually, we do see, that apparently the husky that arrived in an Antarctica base, where we see our cast of characters from McReady, played by Kurt Russell, Dr. Blair, played by Wilford Brimley, the late legendary Wilford Brimley, I should say, and then, of course, Childs. Literally, there is, somebody can have a name Childs, played by Keith David, aka the voice of Dr. Facilier, / the Shadow Man from Princess and the Frog. Then there's Clark, played by Richard Masur. Knowles, I think I got that right, played by T.K. Carter. Palmer, played by David Clennon. And then Dr. Cooper, played by Richard Dysart. Vance Norris, played by Charles Holohan. I'm trying my best to pronounce these names. George Bennings, played by Peter Mullane. Hope I got that right. And then Gary, played by Donald Moffat. Yeah, so a lot of people on this base, and especially because a little bit very later on in the film, they're start to go against each other, and who is the one that is taking the form, the appearance. It does start with, of course, the dog, this dog being put in this dog cage with all these other huskies, and then the dogs, I was waiting for it, it's obvious, the dogs sense the presence of, they know it's not their breed, it's not a husky, and, they start, barking at it, and then they, of course, start whimpering and are scared, and oh my gosh, the visuals in this, and hey, done by none other than legendary visual effects house artist, creatures and so on, Stan Winston. The visuals in this are gruesome, scary, creepy. I could go on. Especially because when the, creatures, transforming and forming, blah, 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 God, even say when attacking other victims, attacking the dogs, and, seeing, the humans and so on, and, well, even say when all the characters, they come in with torches and just burning those aliens to death. Yeah. And especially because I think we all know, and this is at the very end of the movie where, shoot, I think it's Dr. Cooper and does operation on Vance, and that's where basically clear and like the chest opens its teeth. I think I'm correct. It's this guy, and we all know that the teeth in the chest and that infamous shot there. Yeah, so even like say I think even Childs was kind of a jerk a little bit, like kind of got out of hand, I guess. Well, and even like say McReady like threatening to set off like an explosives and so on, and and it's basically like the whole movie, for one thing, the whole movie takes place in Antarctica and on that base, throughout the entire film. So, well, that's basically makes sense and about it right there. So, and I think especially at near the end of the film, like in like the third act, it turns out that Dr. Blair like seems as though that he became one of those aliens as well. And even when I like a sequence with Bennings, him being burned to death as well. And as I said, like Dr. Blair, again played by Wilford Brimley. He's one of those aliens too, and of course he's killed, and the only surviving characters, because almost the entire like base crew are killed except for McReady, Kurt Russell, and Childs, Keith David. They're the last two survivors, and it's like you don't know what's going to happen to them, like, because the movie just ends basically with them after the whole base explodes. It's just them, and they talk a little bit, and I guess they're waiting for backup, I guess. So I guess that's what we assume. But man, what a way to end the film, I should say. And another thing is the music. You know what? I never really paid attention to the music to this, but of course there's music to it, and I assume, well, wait a minute, who did the music for this? Oh yeah, and while I'm looking at it, like, even like, say, some of the crew, like, forcibly, like, willing to volunteer, being tied up to chairs. That's one thing. And of course, one of them, from one after the other, getting attacked and, turning into the aliens, the alien taking the form. Anyways, so most of the time John Carpenter would do the music for his movies. So, even I didn't realize that John Carpenter, turns out, had a cameo, video footage, Norway, like, video footage. I didn't realize that. And Andre Barbeau, if I'm saying her last name right, she had a voice cameo. Well, she did the voice of the computer. So, okay, so it was not John Carpenter who did the music. It was somebody by the name of, and wait a minute, Ennio Morricone. I think I know that name, so it's gonna load. But the music was good, I mean, I remember, like, listening, like, hearing the music as well, but most of the time there wouldn't be any, this guy, a late legendary composer, so, definitely the music he did was good. So, anyways, so John Carpenter's The Thing, I gotta say, is a pretty good, like, film, especially, like, say, if you want to watch this during Halloween, why not? And I give this, I mean, I didn't dislike it or anything. I mean, I think it's pretty good, but it's not it's not a movie that I would probably, for me personally, I wouldn't watch all the time. You know, occasionally would probably give it a watch. You know, and if you guys are interested, and if any of you have seen John Carpenter's The Thing, you know, let me know what you thought of my review. Just leave comments and give this review a like as always. And how do I rate this? I was getting to that. You know, why not? I'll give this 8 out of 10 stars. 8 out of 10 stars for John Carpenter's The Thing. So there's that. Again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of John Carpenter's The Thing. More reviews coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review. And of course, continuing on, reviewing more Halloweenish films. And stay tuned next week, of course, because the next Halloweenish film I'm going to be reviewing has to do something with none other than Stephen King. Again, take care and peace out.